annual membership meeting for December 4th. I am Sean King. I am the CoC board chair. I will just give a little bit of an introduction. I know we have a lot of board members here, so thank you. We will be having our board membership or board meeting directly after this, so we probably will have to do a little bit of reconfiguring of the room. There will be some time there. I'm going to bring up Pam Qualls, who is our host this morning, and we want to thank her to talk a little bit, and also HLA board chair, to talk a little bit about the building we are in. So Pam.
Good morning. We're so glad to be able to host you today at Just Add Power. You may have noticed video screens everywhere. Just Add Power is an audio-video distribution company. And so we are used for entertainment. If you have any Disney Frozen sing-along fans, you'll see it at Disney World. We're in Universal Studios. We're in stadiums, different football, baseball, stadiums around the country. So we're also for a serious purpose, and that is we're used by the military, used by NASA, and we're also used in control centers around the world. So we're considered essential workers. We have been open throughout the pandemic. I'm going to let you know a little bit about the safety features of the building so that you are aware that we are doing our best to manage your risk here this morning. So first of all, this was actually, this facility was in for about a year. It was a manufacturing facility for contact lenses. So it was already set up to be a clean building. We added hydroxy and UV units that scan all of the air that circulates. And then also the air will circulate about every 10 minutes. You'll hear it moving. So as long as we follow mask protocols, we keep the air moving, we should be minimizing our risk as much as possible today. And of course, you're all spaced. You're 6 feet apart, so if we maintain that, that'll help as well. If you do need to evacuate the room for any reason, these two doors at the back lead out into a hallway, and then just follow the hallway the same direction, and you'll come to exit doors. And then the same thing, if you're at this end, you want to go out the front door that you came in. We have restrooms and water dispensers that are right around the corner. If you take a quick left at the tree and walk down that hall, you'll find the restrooms. So, that's everything. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you, Claire. She's been generous enough to welcome us in this space, so I want to thank her and Just Add Power as well. So this is our very first annual membership meeting where we're going to vote on a new board member. So we've begun 2020 with a lot of different plans and thoughts, but everything has shifted. So I want to thank all the membership personally for one, being a member of the CoC, the Continuing Care. I want to thank all the board members personally. It's been a challenging year for everybody, to say the least, especially to serve the population that we serve in the manners that we do. So thank you for all your time, energy, and effort for that. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Susan Myers, the current CEO of the HLA, to kind of kick us off and get us started. But again, from the CoC as the chair, and then for the CoC board, for all our CoC membership, and everybody watching at home and across the world, thank you for being here, especially thank you for being here in person. The sunshine issues has necessitated us having an in-person meeting for now, and hopefully we'll clean some of that up at the board meeting at 10 a.m. But again, just thank you to everybody.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm so glad to have my last real day of the CEO of the Administration Alliance here today with you all, the membership. And it's great that Pam was able to get this moved for us, because we didn't know what the heck we were going to do. We were envisioning hanging out in the park, standing around in a circle, kumbaya style, but this was really a generous gift. Anyway, a very generous gift of her to share this space with us. I do want to introduce the new CEO of the Homeless Leadership Alliance, and that is Amy Foster. Just say envisioned was, meet and greet, kind of mingle and coffee and donuts, but of course, that's not today's world. So this is the kind of meet and greet we're gonna do, so I'm gonna say a few words, and she's gonna say a few words, and then, if you all have any comments, questions, anything you wanna ask Amy, we have some time this morning to do that. But I'm going to say a few words, and that is, when I arrived.
Oh, thank you so much, Pam. Next time I'll make sure I bring my docking station.
That was pretty minor problem.
Yeah, it was.
She was then elected HLB chair, which she served from 2016 to 2019, during which time, under her leadership, the CoC created a system redesign committee and implemented Housing First, coordinated entry, rapid rehousing, all of these things, all of these projects which have contributed to a reduction in those experiencing rental homeless in our CoC. That is true. We have been reducing homelessness. COVID has a different impact, but prior to COVID, we were steadily decreasing homelessness. In addition to Amy's work on the CoC board, since 2014, Amy has also served on the St. Petersburg City Council, where she continues to demonstrate her commitment to ending homelessness by working to create local policies to address the issues surrounding homelessness. She's been very instrumental in changing policy, particularly in the city of St. Petersburg, for supporting housing services. Amy also has experience with operating a nonprofit, most recently as the executive director for the Guardian Ad Litem Foundation of Tampa Bay, which under her leadership was recognized by the state of Florida as Nonprofit of the Year in 2016. And her experience with running nonprofits has provided her with extensive fundraising experience, which is certainly something I think the CoC needs, is more private dollars in our system. Most all of our dollars are government dollars, which we have wonderful government partners in this community, but those dollars are restricted and we need a lot more flexibility. So that expertise will be definitely beneficial to the CoC. And in addition to Amy's work to end homelessness, she has been involved in other community committees that have addressed issues such as family violence, finance and taxation, which does not sound like fun, but it's certainly important. Legislative affairs, constantly want to change policy at the local, state, federal level. Housing, land use, and transportation, that's needed to address the issues of homelessness. Youth and family services, and diversity. Inclusion, which is we want to focus on moving forward. So I strongly believe Amy is the right person to guide the Homeless Leadership Alliance and the Pinellas Continual Care Board on this next leg of this community's journey to end homelessness. So let's give Amy. I'm going to turn it over to her to say a few words, and then give you all the opportunity to have a conversation.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you to Susan for your legacy that you're leaving in our community. I think looking around, there are a lot of new faces, but there are many faces that have been here since I started in 2014. And things weren't broken, but there wasn't a lot of trust in how things were provided. And, anytime you're going through change with Housing First, it was a heavy, heavy lift. We joked all the time that it was like turning the Titanic, which if any of you have ever gone through a major change like that in your own organization, you can only imagine trying to herd 50 cats to do that as well. And Susan came in, she studied our ship, she made sure that we stayed committed to the goals that we outlined to implement Housing First, to make sure that we had coordinated entry, all of those things, and through the staff and the services that we're able to provide in the community. And so we couldn't have done that without you, Susan. The COC is a different place than it was many years ago, and we're so thankful for everything you did to help make that happen. And you have a dynamite team that has contributed to that success. So thank you. We know we're not saying goodbye. We know you're going to still be involved in the community, and we're thankful for that. To all of you, since many of you have been around for a while, I want to say thank you to you. All of those things that Susan described, the COC board couldn't do alone. It takes providers surveying our very vulnerable clients in the community to make that happen. And so success is a shared value. It doesn't happen by one person. It takes the entire community to end homelessness and make it rare-breeds and non-recurring. So I'm excited to move forward, looking forward to seeing what should come. There will be some listening sessions and other things coming in 2021 to figure out how the COC can serve our membership, how we can serve our providers, what resources are needed that we need to look out for in our community. And I'm just looking forward to being a part of the solution and working in collaboration with all of you. So thank you for your commitment to be here. I know, especially for some folks on the phone, we had heard from you loud and clear the concern about having to meet in person. We want to make sure everybody understands that we absolutely understand the challenges around that and meet everybody where they're at. We're hoping again to address that in our COC board meeting later today, if we're able to get quorum, so that we can continue to involve all of you in the work, but you can do it in a place that's most comfortable for your needs and risk level. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Now, 5 years ago, there would have been a lot of questions.
Good evening, Tom.
Yeah.
So being around, and a lot of looking around the audience, a lot of us have been around this continuum, I guess is not really the word I'm looking for, but I'm going to go with, for as many years as we have. As a provider, you know, when it was the Pinellas County Coalition for the Homeless and then the Homeless Leadership Network, and how this evolved into the HLD, and then we have the Funders Council and Providers Council, and April shaking her head like that is kind of right. I have the structure of it, but the two things really striking. One, the professionalism that Susan has brought to everything she's done, and the way she's been able to push so hard and not feel like you're being pushed. That's a real remarkable talent. And I can't thank you as a provider, but as part of all this, what you've been able to accomplish in just a few short years and really getting this to where it needed to be and how it needed to look is fantastic, because most of you know, who know me know I'm very shy and I don't like public speaking. But you have really, it's really fantastic to stand back and say, wow, look at what you've done. And to have someone succeed you seems kind of impossible. But when you bring someone like Amy in, right? My first meeting with Amy, the first thing wasn't, hello, it's nice to meet you. It's, you better be at every meeting, right? And I respond well to that, because a little bit of fear is always good for me. But we are in such capable hands, and you couldn't ask for a better successor in the future of this. And that what you said is correct. There would have been a million questions 5 years ago. There's not a million questions because I got this thing together pretty good. And that's not just you. It's a lot of people working really hard for a long time. When you think about before the VIs to that, when you think about coordinated entry, when you think about all these things, there's a lot of people who deserve credit. But thank you for everything you've done. And I couldn't, and I told Amy this myself, I couldn't be more excited for the future of where we're going as well. Because when you have people who have the ability to lead towards transformative leadership, you grab that and you run. So thank you. And thank you, Amy.
Anybody want to follow that one?
I remember when Susan first here, I met with her. I think we had a barbecue. We went
We
to,
had a few barbecues.
well, we went to the south side and we had barbecue, and I was trying to impress upon, I was having a hard time, and I don't know how many of you remember, I was in a struggle with the Catholic Church, they put it like that. But, I was impressed of the way, it's like, she listened to me, but she didn't commit to me. I didn't want her to commit to me. I just wanted her to look and see what was going on. Like my stroke, I came on this board, I was really homeless. Okay, this was 10 years ago, or 11 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever. But, it's like, I am it's like Syracuse University, class 1981, I majored in philosophy and English. I said, well, I'm gonna get out of this. And so I did by becoming a peer of the people who, we're trying to find a solution. And so what I have found out is that you have to have diversity, and it's like an intellectual diversity, because it's like you're looking for a solution. And so, it's like it's horrific that blacks are 11% of the population, and represent 30–40% of the homeless. But nobody says that. And so if nobody says that and nobody observes it, okay, very nice liberal people, you're not going to come to a solution until you courageously confront, like what's going on, okay? And so I think that Susan has brought the freedom to be diverse, okay? And freedom to be diverse intellectually, okay? And so now, it's like, homelessness can be solved, okay? I mean, it's like, we have the technology, we have the money in a lot of cases, but we don't have the will. And so when we develop the will part, and so that's gonna be to courageous embrace of diversity, okay? And courageous embrace of, it's like, these guys. For example, I coordinate kind of like a cold weather thing, and so when the temperature is under 40, I was out there, okay? And so I'm in the Williams Park freezing, and remembering, it's like when I was in that situation, wow, it's kind of like living in a refrigerator, And so collecting people, basically crying about the people who were out there when I was out there, and how they hadn't developed, how they hadn't found anything, how they were still crazy, or how they were still drug addicts, and I couldn't, it's like, we don't have, the shelters, there were 25 people that had the capability of going to the Salvation Army. There are 12 people who had the capability of going to Turning Point. And so now, there were 50 people, okay, who had the capability of going to the Boys and Girls Club, which was in Pinellas Park, all right? And so, what is that, 37 people had the capability of being sheltered in downtown St. Petersburg. Okay? And that's a crime. That's a shame. And so if those 37 people went to shelter, I would hate to be the 39th. Okay? Because I would be sleeping outside. But nobody, okay, thinks about that. When it gets cold, I think about, well, where are these people going to sleep? And so, what was it, Irma, that just passed? People were calling me, but are they gonna open up? And nobody was thinking about this. diversity of thought, okay, intellectual thought, you know, and so these are the things that we have to work with, and we'll solve this. We'll solve this if they'll let us solve this, okay? Because, you know, it's like, basically, we have the technology, okay? We have the money, okay? We don't have the places, okay? And so we know we have to work on the places, okay, the locations, okay? But, you know, it's like, otherwise we gotta live. If we have, okay, the courage, you know, to form the will, or to do it, to get it done. And so she was kind of like the cornerstone, the building block, because this thing was crazy, okay? I used to come to meetings and fight, you know? Everybody who knows me, who is like back in the year, you know? And when Pat Gerard, it was like, who was the chairman, it was like, she belittled me. Okay? And I said, I stood up and said, you know, it's like, you're lucky that I stayed out about 5 minutes. Okay? And I said, he was like, you're supposed to be peerage, okay? And intellectual peerage, okay, in this group. And so I'm going to go outside, okay? So I don't say something that I regret. And I went outside and wrote, she never apologized. And so that shows, you know, it's like how, you know, it's like we were conflicted as a group, okay? And if we're conflicted as a group, we don't have, you know, it's like, empathy for the people outside. And so we're not gonna eat everything about it. You know, it's like Irma, and it's like, and it's a flood, and where are people gonna flee? We're not gonna think about that, because we don't have the nuts to, you know, it's like let that part of it enter our lives, okay? And so this has to permeate our lives. I mean, this has to be, you know, it's like, when you go outside, okay, your body, you are the salvation of the people who are sleeping on the street, okay? So when you go outside, you say, ooh, it's a little cold. I wonder whether, you know, that should make you think about something else that could, you know, it's like be good for it, okay? But you and you, okay? I'm hopeful, and I thank you. I really do. I thank you from the bottom. And you're like, we can't do shots at your little warrior, but I would, you know, because I love you, you know, and I'm so glad that you came.
Thank you, and GW always brings us back to the reality and the people, always. I will just remind everybody that we do have a board meeting, and there will be a little, you know, we'll have plenty more time to talk about Susan and everything she's done. But I think it also is good for members, the CoC membership, if you're not sticking around to be a part. But we do have something for the board meeting as well. I'll say that. Yes, ma'am. Do we have a quorum of the CoC membership?
No,
Well, I was gonna ask, and I think the hope is, because we only have one official active business for this meeting, everything else is informational, but our hope was, no, my hope still is that when we get closer to the board time at 10 a.m., because all the board members are CoC members, or should be CoC members, that we will then hopefully get a quorum closer to that time, and then maybe able to take a vote. If not, we can't take, I'm looking at our esteemed attorney in the back, who keeps us, the plan right there. We can't take official action for the CoC membership to vote. Unfortunately, we will have to discuss that at the board meeting that will follow, which we should have quorum for. Hopefully. We don't more for that, then we don't take any additional
I think, aren't we posted more for that? I think
Yeah, we should.
Margie's been counting.
Margie? how
We
many
need
do
3 more for membership.
3 more for membership, so,
Hopefully by quarter to 10, we might have it.
yes, ma'am.
The only other comment I would make is this, the membership only meets once a year, I believe.
I'm gonna talk about all
Yeah.
this. Is this a
Okay,
good time?
well, only comment I was gonna make is that I know quite a few people in here, and I don't know how, there's several that I don't know, so I would hope at future meetings, even though I know we're under constraints now, that we could go through an introduction, because we have members, a lot of us are members from the old structure,
Yeah,
but we added a lot of new organizations and individuals, and they don't know who we are, and we don't know who they are.
and I would agree 100% with that, and I would hope that, and this will be on the new CEO's, jobs list, but once we clear up some of the sunshine, I won't say issues, but make it a little bit more flexible and easier to have, blended in-person or virtual meetings, that we could have another membership meeting that's solely focused on what you're talking about, and can cast a wider net, because it'll be virtual and more people are likely to attend, so I hear that loud and clear. Boss.
I'm Susan Myers, and I'm the outgoing CDO of the Homeless Leaders.
John King, Chair is Pinellas CoC.
a lot of the perk, remember, and provider. I've been waiting to take a shot. I know I keep taking, I apologize publicly that I always take shots at you.
I have to get him when I can.
I know, come harder, man.
And I know what PERC is, and I even know the new name, but there's folks in this room, I bet, don't know what it
So
is.
perk is
Jesus.
people empowering and restoring communities. We're also known as the Pinellas Ex-Offender Reentry Coalition. So we did a DBA to more reflect what we do. But we do a lot of work in homelessness and returning citizens, case management, and a bunch of other stuff, because I didn't really prepare myself to get.
But the CEO should always have his elevator.
You're right, absolutely.
Let that be a lesson, we'll go right.
That was
Hi,
better.
everyone. Lisa Manners, the Manners Housing Foundation. Our mission is to provide support and housing to college students experiencing homelessness. Community college students, I keep getting asked that specifically, what type of college, are you doing P-Tech? No, community college students. We're starting in Pinellas County. Right now, we do not have property. So if anyone knows anyone that would like to help us with that, that would be amazing. But we do have a helpline, and I do get calls from students, and we help them get to your guys' program, because you have housing available right now, we don't. But when we do, then we'll be able to take a little relief on the students, because there are a lot of college students experiencing homelessness. Now, I'll go over to my protege, Dwayne, who's also a part of Manners Housing.
Good morning, Dwayne Armstrong, I'm the Vice President of the Pinellas Housing Foundation, Lisa's right hand. Like you said, our mission is to eradicate, I like the word, students experiencing homelessness. We are doing our best at it right now, and I keep telling her that in 5 years, 10 years, we'll look back at these days when we were smaller and less efficient, but right now we're doing the best that we can. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of the continuum.
We like the word eradicate.
Hi, my name is Radha. I'm a board member. I'm with the Charter Springs Housing Authority, and I'd love to get your information, because as a housing authority, we also have a nonprofit, and we have a number of diverse affordable housing options.
MannersHousing.org. Everyone, MannersHousing.org.
So I look forward to connecting with you.
My name is, D.W. Roll. I've spoken up, and I'm associated with the organization.
Good morning. My name is Lonnie Cuthbertson. I'm a member, and I'm on the agenda to become a board member. I am the owner of, I am a registered nurse, and the reason I went into nursing to help people. That sounds like a cliche, but I have spent 25, almost, well, 28 of my years volunteering with the vulnerable community. Sorry, I'm nice. And I love it. Had the opportunity to work with the city, the county, and also Baytime, where I was employed in the point of time, I'm sure you all heard of that. To serve at the Deacon House and also St. Vincent de Paul. And also in the community, in some of our vulnerable communities in the Charles Park area and the Frank Pierce area. And certain people that are homeless, known and unknown. The reason why I said that is because I had the opportunity to meet young adults that sometimes we view as hanging on the corner, selling drugs. But when talking to them, finding out they don't have a home. They don't have nowhere to go. Different situations cause that. One of the situations I ran into, these are things that you don't look at. A young man, he's living with his grandmother, and she was placed in a nursing home where there was like 4 of them. And they didn't have nowhere to go after that, so they end up homeless. And sometimes we overlook that population. So this is the type of work I have done over the almost nearly 30 years. Serving individuals, offering free health screenings, offering offering services that they would normally have to pay for. I am the owner, CEO of Genuine Healthcare Institute, also, which is currently a training center in the process of submitted a license to the Department of Education, actually the Commission of Independent Education, to become a vocational school, privately owned vocational school. And that's a little bit of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Amy Eustace. I work with Reach St. Pete. We work with the homeless and low-income families. We do bill assistance. We have a couple outreach programs that we do, hygiene items, clothing, and some Sunday night dinner outreach programs. Our newest program, we serve at a local motel where we do like a Sunday night dinner, like kind of do activities with the kids. And our biggest thing to do right now is bill assistance as funds come in. And I'm the community relations director, and it's just a team of 2. We're a small nonprofit like you guys. We're new to games. This is my first meeting, so thanks for having me. I'm excited to be a part of the group.
Welcome. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Stacy Gallup. I represent Baycare Health Systems. I'm the West Region Director for Hospital Care Coordination. So I have responsibilities for our inpatient case management teams at our 4 Pinellas County Baycare hospitals and then one in Pasco as well. But I'm also the chair of our membership committee for the HLA. So.
Good morning, I'm Teresa Jones. I'm with the city of St. Petersburg as their manager for homeless and social services.
And how are you in the COC? What committees are you?
I'm on several committees, the Providers Council, the
Too many.
Funders Council, on the diversity, ethnic.
Probably quicker to say what you don't say. So yeah, once you introduce yourself, if you're a board member or if you have some other, your committee member with the COC, let everybody know what you do, and also let the new members come in and see what kind of committees and things we have going on.
Hi, Courtney Covington, and I'm the Director of Community and Family Services for PENS. And our efforts are focused on providing a safety net for families so that they don't become homeless, so catch them when they're starting to fall off.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mariana Forsyth. I am a board member and part of the Providers Council. And I'm the CEO of CASA, which is the domestic violence organization.
Hello, my name is Sam Picard. I serve on the board and I'm a member of the Continuum Care. I'm the pastor of Missio Dei, which is a church in St. Petersburg. GW is our pastor for social justice. Our community is mostly homeless and marginally housed. I also work at Behavioral Health System. I do a combination of behavioral health and government relations. So thinking about that intersection between housing and behavioral health.
Good morning, I'm Gabe Parra from the city of Clearwater. I manage the homeless initiative. The approach of the city of Clearwater to the homeless situation is that we provide funding to 5 continuum care providers and the HOA to provide services to the homeless in Clearwater. And I represent the city of the provider council and the funding council.
Hi, I'm Rick Cutler. I'm the Vice Mayor of the City of Pinellas Park. I sit on the board representing the Juvenile Welfare Board, and I'm on the Funders Council.
Or do you want to say a quick hello to everybody?
Margie Ishler, I work for the hi Lisa. I work for the HLA.
And she does everything.
I do everything, except the funding for the grants. I don't do that, but everything else, yes.
Tisha Mosley with Enchanting Families. We're currently in the process of opening up permanent housing in Newport Richey. We are looking for place locations in Pinellas County to provide housing as well.
I'm Kathleen Beckman. I'm a newly elected council member in Clearwater and member of the Founders.
I'm Nicole Parr, and I serve on Pinellas County School Board, so I'm one of your 7 Pinellas County School Board members, and I am a member of the board, and I also serve on the data systems department.
Good morning, I'm Kaylee Zagnowski, and I'm a COC member, and I work for the City of St. Pete City Council.
Good morning, Stephanie Owens. I sit on the board. I'm chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, and my day job is advocating and sometimes lobbying federal, state, and local legislators for policies that help improve people's lives.
Hi, I'm Deborah Creek Sanders, St. Petersburg City Council District 5.
Good morning, I'm Charlie Gertis, and I'm privileged to serve as counsel to the Pinellas County COC and Board of Directors.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Connor Donovan. I'm the City Commissioner.
Hello, Mark Dufa. I'm with RCS Pinellas, now known as Hope Villages of America. I am the Vice President of Housing Stability Services and oversee Grace House, the largest homeless family shelter in Pinellas County. And of course, we need affordable housing everywhere. So the more all of us get together and build affordable housing, the more land we can acquire, and the more cheaper we can do this, the better we can help eliminate all of this homelessness, right? Eradicate it. So we're here to help. I am a member of the Diversity, Equity, and yes, and also I and every provider.
Good morning, I'm Bob Holt, Commissioner of the City of Largo. And on the advocacy board, and also part of the Largo has a women's task force that we put together, but they'll reach out to all other areas. Been on this board for almost 6 years. Sometimes it feels like 20. But it's definitely a learning experience at every meeting. But we've had great leadership. Susan, it's been awesome working with you. I'm looking forward to working well with Amy, and he gave.
Lieutenant Zach Ish with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. I'm in charge of day-to-day operations out of Safe Harbor, and I also sit on the Providers Council and the Data and System Performance Committee.
I'm Colonel Sean McGillen, Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. I work with Zach, I oversee Pinellas Safe Harbor. I also oversee the Pinellas County Jail, and I'm a member of the board and the strategic planning.
Get everybody.
Thank you. Bring it up.
Oh, did we get Doug in?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
No worries, now we can sit in the back and stuff here. I'm Doug Cooley, I'm the CEO of the Pinellas Community Foundation, and also the chair of the Funders Council for the COC.
Good morning, I'm April Lott, I'm the president and CEO at Directions for Living. I'm the chair of the Providers Council and vice chair to the COC Board of Directors.
I think we're done. We'll get you plugged in.
John,
So I did want to talk a little bit about.
John didn't do it, so.
Yes, he did.
I just said. Thank you.
Words we're happy to have for you.
I was up to you.
So HUD, this continuum of care was created by HUD, which of course is a huge bureaucracy. And there are 27 continuum of cares in the state of Florida, over 400 across the country. So we are not unique per se. Each one though has this opportunity to create themselves in its own way. But there are some structure, and even though HUD is a huge bureaucracy, I think what they tried to create with addressing homelessness was pretty creative. And that is they formulated the continuum of care because they wanted communities to address homelessness. And so that's where the membership comes from. They felt as though, it's a very cumbersome structure, but I understand the reasoning behind it, and that is because homelessness should not just be a problem of homeless shelter. Homelessness should not just be a problem of local government. Homelessness is not just a problem for faith-based organizations, it's our whole community. And it's our whole community who needs to work together to come up with a solution. And so that's where the membership idea came from. So HUD does require a COC, each COC to have a membership. And that membership is a combination of all those types of entities, government entities, nonprofit, business, faith-based organizations, domestic violence, substance abuse, mental health, everybody who touches homelessness in one way or another, which really involves. And so then that membership, the COC membership, elects the board to set policy on its behalf. And our board is currently 27 members on the board of directors, and we have 10 of those members are elected officials. I could name them all, but I'll probably list one. But we have Pinellas County, City of St. Petersburg, City of Clearwater, City of Tarpon Springs, City of Pinellas Park, City of Largo. Those are the 5 cities that we have. We also have the Sheriff's Office, we have the Public Defender's Office, and we have JWB. I'm sure I missed one, but I hope I did. So all those elected officials represent various governments on the board, and then we have a lot of CEOs and nonprofits who cover all of those types of services. So we ask that members apply, we ask that community members apply to become a COC member. And then we have a process for that. There's an application on our website. There's different types of membership. There's government membership. We want to encourage government to participate on the COC. There's no fees for government to spend money on things like that. We want their participation. So we really invite government to participate. And so they can become members and be on the board, and there's no fee for government to be on board. We really just want them their input. Agencies and organizations have to be located or provide services in Pinellas County. There's The application on our website for agencies is $100 due annually. You can be a primary voting member and then also have an alternate if you apply as an agency. And then individuals can also be members. Work in Pinellas County, if you want to be a voting member, there's a $30 annual membership fee. If you don't want to, if you don't be a voting member, you can just become a member and attend meetings and get information, etc. And then typically what COC membership votes on is who represents them on the board. Government officials, of course, are appointed by the government, so that's their required vote. The community members will be voted on the membership. And we currently have a vacancy. We have to have a form to vote down. Our vacancy is a business seat, and we have 4% of the apply. She announced that earlier. But we do have to have forms to vote by the end of this meeting. We'll get the forum. So we have HUD requires COCs to have membership meetings twice a year. COC has voted to have meetings 4 times a year because we're feeling it's very important to community together, to community insight, to hear what the community is experiencing and witnessing in terms of homelessness. So our board has opted to have these 4 times a year. Unfortunately, because of COVID, that didn't happen this year. So, but we are going to be required 2 per year. We'll have accomplished our 2 meetings per year. And in order to be on the COC board, you have to be a COC. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. I'm so glad to see all these folks here. I really am grateful for Pam for providing this room where we can socially distance and scale as big as possible. Otherwise, I'm not sure we would have it. So that's all I wanted to talk about in terms of membership. I'm not sure where we are.
You have half an hour.
Does anybody have any questions about the membership or what can you do if you're a member or what can't you do if you're a member?
Sean, I had a procedural question. Is the seat that needs to be filled, is that a result of a vacancy or is it not?
It has been open for 2 years now.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I'll move on then to quote our COVID-19 response. So things that are going on. We partnered with the Community Law Program to help them with the eviction diversion program where they receive funding for. And so we currently have 2 temporary housing navigators in the HLA.
Yeah, still need 2 more. We needed 3. Who's not? Stephanie Owens is not a member. Can't count Charlie because he's the attorney. Yeah, Stephanie's not a member. And Lisa is the member. Twain is her alternate. So we can only count Lisa. Right, so we need 2 more still.
Because we all know there's a lot of people who are out of work, without us, we just have difficulty facility. And our mission is to keep people homeless. And so the law programs are doing is helping mediate with landlords and figure out ways to keep people in housing. We have funding at the HLA to help people. Had 15 referrals from the community law program as of December 3rd. 4 households have been successfully housed in the unit. 3 families with minor children and 1 individual. 3 households with extremely low income and no income were referred to other diversion programs and working on getting them housed. 8 households are in progress, working with the housing unit navigators to locate some housing. The one problem with this money is it expires. Right around the corner. There's some possible extension, but we haven't heard any. We also have partners with Pinellas County and Directions for Living. Where there's a program, if people experience certain I'm not quite sure how many of this is April. I would venture to say about 150. So on, I think it was Tuesday night, we had our first cold night shelter. And in Clearwater, I was working to help take temperatures of people. They gathered at Peace Memorial, we processed them, and they got on a bus to go to the MLK Center. And there were a couple of issues. Number one is those thermometers like we used when we came out in here today. When we're standing outside at 5:30, between 5:30 and 8 p.m. at night, and the temperature is already maybe in the 50s or something. It was, to be honest, it was hard to get an accurate read. And so I could not swear that all those people, they looked okay. We had a number of questions we asked them, but to be accurate on that temperature, that's a challenge. And then if somebody did look really sick, we didn't have any, but if they did, so you're saying now that to get into that hotel that, you know, and I know that's something else before other meetings, but it has to be a referral from a hospital or the health department. So at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, when we're discovering somebody that seems to be sick, what's the protocol? I would think they have to go to an emergency because we go to the hospital. This is operated by the county.
Yeah.
They're funding. They've established, and I believe go to the emergency room and hospital referral from the hospital.
So do you think at that point, we would escort them down to Morton Plant or something like that that's closest and say, this person appears to be very sick or we may have COVID and now we're handing them off to you and.
Yeah, I would only offer that there's a significant number of people though that have it in our age group and don't necessarily need an ER encounter. One of these ones is called like for ER is from the hospital. So I don't know if we need to have further discussion around the way to connect these types of individuals when there's concern, or if we can look at some outpatient testing, perhaps with a rapid test, and then work with the county on the way to get them like from you directly into the hotel and the appropriate setting, and bypass the ER, and the ER really is not necessary. So if they are symptomatic and look ill and there's concern, absolutely ER is the right setting. But for those that don't, maybe we should probably look at some alternatives there.
Especially if you're talking about.
Right. Yes.
Different question. You mentioned that the funding is provided to the regional care funding agency. Does that funding also end at December 30th?
I can look into it.
I don't know, what I heard Lord say the other day, just to be clear, the funding that, I think that Susan is talking about the funding for the actual hotel, because we received no additional funding, to the service there. So as providers, I didn't think we did either. We are doing it as a mission, commitment to the people that we serve. But I think there was a say the other day that he has heard that they were making an extension beyond December 30. But I have not heard that the incorporation hotel will shut down on December 30. In fact, Ward is also speaking that she's recently gotten information and counsel from medical professionals that this is going to get worse before it gets better. That she is preparing for an incredible surge, probably to last through March. So are you hearing the same thing? Yes. Okay. We're doing some updates actually. Yeah.
And the network too, and how this will provide meals for those that are going to.
Yes, we have quite a few people who are contributing to or participating in helping us stage those rooms with food, but yes.
Well, it's happening on most of that one, so I can't say that everybody's buying it.
I can tell you that Laura answered that question the other day as well and said that all dollars will be spent. There is no risk that there are any dollars from CARES that will not be spent. They have a variety of requests that have not yet been fulfilled in the event that we have money. There's funds that we move to fulfill other obligations or requests, so there is no risk that we will not be spent.
And then we also have funding from the Department of Children and Families. They also had ESG funding, that is the amount of $927,000. That flowed through all the COCs in the state, and we subcontracted that to living, services. I'm just gonna say, it's so much frustrating dealing with the state. In that it took forever to get the contract. We really didn't get the contract until October, and we had to subcontract it, so it seems like it's been really good. They've had the money for a long, long time. It just took a while to get the contract. This round must be spent by June 30th, which, to your point, we're going to work really hard to get that money spent by June 30th. We don't know if the state will roll it over or not, but the state's deadline for spending it is, I want to say June of 2021. 22, but they're doing it in two phases, and they want phase one spent by June of 2021. That could change, but at this point, that's what it is. And so we're waiting for the state Department of Children and Families to decide how they want to allocate round two, which is significantly more than round one. They still have yet to determine how they want to allocate it, so we haven't heard yet, and those dollars go through June 2022. And then, of course, we don't know the will be packages. It sounds like there's some movement on actually having meeting. That's it.
And I'll just add to that, and I know board members have heard this, and heard me say this for the COC membership at large, and just kind of looking back, it's kind of hard to believe that it's December right now. The year that we've seen like the longest year ever, but now it seems like it's falling. I don't know. But I just want to publicly, for the COC membership, thank the HOA and especially the COC board, the executive committee, when this was all coming in March and nobody was really sure what was going to happen or how we were going to treat our homeless population. We got together, we scheduled 3 weekly meetings with staff and everybody. I want to thank the shelter providers who are truly on the front lines of serving our homeless population and all the street outreach and everything. So I just want to publicly kind of say that everybody in this room, but I'm especially indebted to the HLA and the executive committee, because we couldn't meet as a board. And our executive committee stepped up, and we're like, we need to meet 3 times a week, and we're just gonna do this, and it's gonna get done. And I've heard people say 1,000 times, "I'll worry about the funding later." I'm still hearing it, and it's in December, which is kind of concerning. So, somebody give us some money. Won't pass around a hat. But thank you to everybody who stepped up. We don't have a choice, right? Healthcare workers don't have a choice. Those who serve the homeless on the street don't have a choice. It is what it is. Pandemic, hurricane, blizzard in the Northeast, it doesn't matter. You know, we serve, we are essential, we are first responders in a lot of this things that's the way. So I just wanted to kind of publicly say that. Thank you.
I just want to add one thing to the COVID-19 response update. I think the last board meeting, we talked about surge planning. The hospitals have their surge planning. We are also surge planning for what happens when people have to be evicted, or other, changes happen to people's employment, and we see an increase in homelessness. The strategic planning committee met last week, before it all runs together. There was a decision to focus on surge planning for 2 distinct populations. One is 0 to 5, so children and families, and then 65 and up, we may narrow that some more based on the data, but the data provided to us, we felt like those 2 areas were manageable, and we could make a big dent in if we did a 100-day push or 150-day push, whatever we decide. So I just wanted to mention that to everybody, that we are also doing our own search planning. Strategic planning is meeting again the 16th, I believe, and we will probably be calling on many of you and other providers to join those teams. There are strategies that are used across the United States to do this type of search planning. We've done it here in our own community before. It was just done in Prospect Towers. It's been done in the Mosley Hotel. We are confident that if we all work together, we can make a big dent in these 2 very vulnerable populations with the help of everybody in the community. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But we will also be calling on people. The next meeting, we will be kind of looking at who needs to be our stakeholders, who do we need to have at the table. That kind of thing. So I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. Yeah, I just wanted to say pretty much the same thing that Amy just said, that it is going to take all of us. The recent membership meetings are so incredibly important, and I so wish that we had thousands of people here from our community today that want to help solve this problem. To quote GW, right? Homelessness is solvable. We can solve this. GW said a couple things that were very meaningful to me today, and I'm listening to many of you, but I will tell you, GW, that when I walk outside, I do think about the people who don't have any place to go, and particularly I'm thinking about those children, and I am thinking about the elderly. And right now we have people over the age of 65 who are living on the streets. There's nowhere to go. And in my opinion, that says a lot about our community and who we are. And we need to change that. We just have to. So, but it's going to take all of us, and I think both that all of you, especially some of you who are being to us today, that you will join us in the years to solve
they can stay. Oh, yeah, I have it on the sign.
So, Margie, do we have a form?
No, we do not.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. We are too short.
Because you said we were pretty short, and I've seen 2 other people who.
Because Robin came in, no, Debbie came in. Then we needed 2 more.
Did you get one?
Glenn is not a member. Stephanie's not a member.
What I am going to do, I have 45 right now, we have to provide a little bit of time for a break and maybe we can figure out.
So can't count Glenn.
Call a 9:50 cap on this meeting. Hopefully we'll get one or two members that have.
So two sitting right up front. Lisa.
If not, we'll end that meeting at 9:50. Reconvene our board meeting at 10.
Stephanie is not a member. Keith, so one more. We
Right,
need
yeah.
one more. One more.
The only memorial is, gonna be at Williams Park.
Yes, I counted her. Hi,
I
Stephanie,
really,
I'm sorry.
Don't know the time. I think.
Well,
About,
you should be a member of this.
yeah.
No, you're not a member.
4 o'clock, yeah. And
It's too late to vote today because you have to be.
yeah, so there you go. Commemorate the people who,
What do I need?
like had son, this year.
I'll email you the application.
And,
Okay,
we're gonna have,
I know, I'm sorry.
ceremony and food.
I got
They've asked me to deliver to you,
a few times.
which I will. And,
So I'll send it to you again.
I would really, love to see the participation. And we've never got the buy-in, really, from, the board. Now, that's not to say that we haven't got, commemoration certificate from the county and the mayor but we really don't have the buy-in of the speakers, you know. And, I'm just gonna take a physical object. Must occupy a physical space.
No, because
So,
now you're seated.
Those people that you
At
see,
large
it's
seat.
like,
He's gonna be
panhandling or publicly, urinating.
I'm sorry.
They have to go somewhere. Okay? And so, you know, it's like, this is part of our quandary. This is part of our dilemma. And if they don't get to go anywhere, they die with, I would say, would be a undignified death. It's like that. And they just die out there because the physical object occupies the physical space at last, which is we use sparkler behind the building, or you know, it's like a rape and strangling in your leg. You know?
I would just add that if you've never attended the Husband Memorial Service, that's been on the 30 years at University of Church. When they stand up and hold the candle, each person who has passed in the last year, if I remember correctly, last year, 68 in Pinellas County who died homeless. It really touches your heart and makes the work that we do even more meaningful. That's all I want to do.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you very much.
And thank you, GW. All right, so it is a little bit past 9:50. Unfortunately, Marty, I'm going to call for one more quorum check before we unfortunately don't have quorum. We're going to provide 10 minutes to use the restroom. I'm going to ask that all the board members come up to the front 3 rows. That should be enough. If you're a CoC member or a member of the public, you can go to the back and socially distance. If you'd like to stay for the board meeting, or there's a link on the website you can watch via Zoom. On there, we do provide an opportunity for public comment at every one of our board meetings. That'll be at the end of the meeting. But again, thank you for coming out. Thank you for being here in person. Thank you for coming online, and we will see you at the 10 o'clock.
Lundy is here. You can take a vote. You can take a vote.
We have a vote.
You can take a vote. Hello there. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
And I'll sign you in.
Hey, GW. They're going back and forth. So Marty,
You're at quorum.
we're at quorum. All right. So, we do have the, agenda item number 5, which is out on the CSC board seat nominee. I'm gonna turn that over to Susan. This is a new process for us, again, for those who've been around. Typically, we didn't have this, the membership didn't vote on the board voted on the board. So we changed that at the beginning of the year. So now, one of the first, or not the first, but the requirements of being a CUC member is that you take a vote on the board that is going to represent you, represent the CUC at the board level. So I will turn it over to you.
Well, my already presenters, already presenters, we have one business seat, 27 seats, or 2 business seats.
You can sit in there.
She has been a business owner from 2002 to 2006, and then 2016 from now. She's involved in community organizations to include Anthony State Community Nursing, Black Nurses Rock St. Petersburg.
Second row right up there.
Association with Westminster Director and partner of the Foundation of St. Petersburg will provide a collaboration with the COC to provide resources to homelessness. Her expertise, how will her expertise be beneficial to the COC? Lottie has served the vulnerable community as a volunteer for over 25 years. Lottie has provided resources, education, health, and wellness screenings to the homeless and vulnerable community. Lottie is a professional nurse of 30 years and the owner of a healthcare training center in the developmental stages of the private technical school. Her interest in homelessness, Lottie's compassion for wellness and health of people has allowed her to effectively communicate with the most vulnerable community, provide the homeless with resources that they choose to accept, and listen to the wants and needs of the homeless population. She's willing to serve on a committee, and she is available first Friday of each month from 10 to 12 to 4.
No, it's an honor to.
He's not a member yet. He has to go before the membership committee.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I emailed him to let him know.
All right, so that's what, not this meeting.
Correct.
So in terms of the vote, Marty can oversee that process.
Well, according to Charlie, we can do, people just say nay if they don't agree.
Someone needs to make a motion. I move it.
Was that Sam?
Yep.
Thank you.
And I think we have a second by Ms. Kipper-Watt. So we'll just do a vote. I'll call for the yays, and then I'll call for the nays. If there's any nays, we will ask that you raise your hand, and so that it is reported for the record. So.
I know this is cheap reform, but if I remember correctly, it was a subject, not all of us in the criminal justice.
Margie has to.
Right.
So we're going with her.
So if you're not a member, don't vote.
Please, yeah. You vote there. All right, all in favor, signify aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. So quickly, I'll give 10 minutes, so we'll start the board meeting at 10:05. So you can do a bathroom, rest of the break, whatever needs to be done. Again, if you're a board member, please come up to the 5-3 row. Yeah. Again,